the media houses, not the print media, but the recording. I'm keeping on getting disturbing reports that we are recording in transgressions of the ground rules. Particularly, recording continues after I've left the courtroom. And we have agreed, and I have said, recording starts as soon as I get into the courtroom and as soon as I leave the courtroom. It's not nice to use some of these extreme, because the next thing I'll do is I'll say, I'm withdrawing the permission and no recording will take place. So please let me not get another report of an incident of the transgression of the recording rules.
Okay, so I just want to get a clear understanding. Payments made to Kwanyemba Investment Trust, either from Jaco Investment, Fine Seafood CC, or Fine Seafood Trust, were any such payments for the mining project in Angola?
There were never payments, my lord, made from Fine Seafood CC, Fine Seafood Investment Trust, to Wanyemba Investment Trust.
Oh, okay. So all the payments from Jaco to Wanyemba, those were all for the mining project in Angola?
That's correct.
Oh.
Mr. Kontombolo, you are a court interpreter. You know the rules. Please keep the door open. Yes, you are one of our assistant interpreters. You must know those rules. No. Keep it open.
And Your Lordship, I just want to inform the court also, based on what he questioned me.
Based on?
Based on what he was asking me.
Okay.
The Jaco, as I have explained, have a contract agreement with Loki. And Loki was provided with services by Jaco. And payments were done in that regard. So when the council was asking me before we left, he was asking me by saying, payments, money from Loki are related to quotas.
To?
Quotas. And I'm still repeating this, my lord. The payment between Loki and Jaco has nothing to do with quotas. Those payments are in line with the agreement that is signed between Loki and Jaco. And the services was provided, reports were produced to this court this morning, and that is the relationship between Loki and Jaco. So if the councils have some quotas missing somewhere, that has nothing to do with Jaco and Loki. And the state, I think they should provide that evidence that Mr. Shuudifonya and you, Mr. Louis or Mr. Victor of Loki, you were giving quota to each other. There was no such meetings. And I think I'm just urging the council when he keeps on repeating that Jaco got money for quota. That is not correct, my lord.
Everybody has his version. You have your version, yes. The state has its version.
Yes.
Depending on, and as I said, for me now, I'm never going to make a determination whether you got money for quotas or not. My question is, my function here is simply to determine whether, because as I said, I'm keeping on repeating this.
Yes.
You have a right
Yes.
to your liberty. You have that right.
Yes.
The state has a right to ensure that the interest of justice and justice is done.
Yes.
So what I have to weigh is your right to liberty and the right to see that justice is done. And whether in the administration, on the information that is before me, is it in the interest of justice for me to grant you bail? Or is it not in the interest of justice for me not to grant you bail? You understand?
Noted, my lord.
So I'll never make a determination whether you got. That is for the trial court.
Yes.
The trial court will determine whether you got money for quotas or not.
That's correct, my lord.
Can you please go to page 399 of the forensic report? Are you there?
Yes.
It's paragraph 11.104, the syndication day of purchase of unit 116, 1990 South by Jaco Investment CC on behalf of Mr. Nghipunya. You see that?
I see that.
And it's indicated there that the purchase price was 2.2 million plus fees, and that 1.2 million of the purchase consideration was paid on 14 August, and fees of 108,510 was paid on 29 August 2018 by Jaco Investment CC. You see that?
I see that.
All right. And why was this property being purchased?
Your Lordship, there is an agreement between Jaco and Wanyemba to invest into property. Like I've mentioned this morning, that we are also having property development investment, Jaco and Wanyemba. So Jaco wanted also to venture into properties, and as a result, we are co-financing the properties together with Wanyemba Investment Trust. So in this case, Wanyemba Investment Trust was not having enough capital to finance that property, to bring its contribution. So it was the trustee who brought the contribution on behalf of the trust. So as a result, you will see Jaco Investment made a capital contribution of 1.3 million. 1.3 million. If you add 1.2 million plus 180,000 for the fees, so that will give you 1.3 million. That was the contribution of Jaco Investment regarding that property.
And there's another unit here under 11.106, unit 18, 1990 South. You see that?
Yes, I see that.
And it's indicated that Mr. Nghipunya purchased unit 18, 1990 South for a purchase price of 2,250,000. The transfer was registered on 24 May 2019. This purchase was ostensibly partly financed by a loan of 1.8 million in the personal capacity of Mr. Nghipunya. However, we did not receive documentary evidence of such. The remainder of the purchase, to the next page now, it indicates the remainder of the purchase price being 450,000 plus transfer cost of $114,160, totaling $556,000, and $160 was paid on 28 March by Jaco Investment CC. You see that?
I see that.
Okay. And on whose names are these property registered?
These properties, as they stand now, they are on the name of Mr. Nghipunya. Because
in his personal name.
on his personal
Yes.
unit 116. Yes. Because he took a bond. The capital contribution of the trust, Wanyemba Investment Trust, because Wanyemba was not having enough funds that time. So the trustee, Mr. Nghipunya, was the one who made that contribution on behalf of the trust. So he took a bond from FNB.
Okay, but you also contributed
Yes.
funds. Is there any reason why then it could not be put in the name of the trust since it was a joint business?
Because of his because the bond was registered on Mr. Nghipunya's name. So the bond have to be repaid. Then once it's repaid, and then the property is released from Mr. Nghipunya, then our agreement was to form an entity called Wanyemba Properties, where Njako will have 40%, and then Wanyemba will have 60%. And that entity will hold the property which we are co-financing.
All right, but so far today that entity does not exist.
It does not exist up to now.
All right, and as things stand right now,
Yes.
these assets are under Mr. Nghipunya's name.
Yes, they are on his name.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You also provided us with a bundle of documents. Where are those documents? You indicated were reports. You recall that?
Yes, the reports, yes.
Okay. And this bundle of documents, all right. In your evidence, you had indicated that you had been interviewed by the ACC several times, yeah?
That's correct.
How many times exactly?
Interview, it was once, but the giving statement, it was 3 times.
Oh, okay. And you never provided any of these documents to them?
This document, I can't recall that I gave them to. I can't recall now.
No, they were not provided.
They were not provided.
Yes.
Okay. They were not requested, maybe.
But they were requesting you to provide any information of relevance, isn't it?
Yes. And I provided agreements, invoices, and a statement. But the reports, they've been there.
Okay, then why did you not provide these reports?
My Lord, they were not requested, the reports.
Okay.
Yes.
And these reports, were they provided to, what's the name of that? Were they provided to the entity Loki Investments?
Yes, they were made for Loki.
They were made for Loki and provided to them?
As you check, if you check on top, the client is Loki.
Yes, I see it's written there. But the question is, were they provided to them?
Yes, they were meant for them.
Okay. But interesting enough, in the documents that they've also provided, these reports do not form part of it.
Maybe it was never requested. So they can still ask if.
When you say it was never requested, were you there when ACC was requesting documents from Loki?
No, my Lord.
So how do you know that they were not requested?
I mean from myself, my Lord.
No, the question is from low-key.
No, low-key, I won't know.
And with regard to the email from Loki that was produced before court, these documents were also never mentioned in those emails.
My Lordship, on the emails that I have, or which I provided to the court, these reports were mentioned.
And with regard to these reports, I see none of them are signed, yeah?
Yes, they were never signed.
Not a single one of them.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
That's how they were done.
Who prepared these reports?
Your Lordship, if you check this, there are different types of reports here.
Mm-hmm.
Some are studies. The studies, they were done by myself. The studies, the desk study was done by myself. But the one for the vessels repair was done by Mr. Edward.
Which studies were done by yourself? Can you show us that study you are referring to?
If you go to, like the one talking about economy report for Angola, the one talking about economy report for Angola, taxation in Namibia.
Okay, just hold on. I want to look for those reports. Oh, you say the one that is written Economy Report Angola?
Yes.
Is one of them.
Yes. And then if you...
Okay, no, hold on. Let's stay with that one first. The one written Economy Report Angola. Don't rush.
Is it economy report or risk, country risk report?
No, it's economy report, Angola.
Then it appears.
Do you have any extra copy? Your Lordship, we can provide a copy for the court.
I think I don't have that one.
Okay.
No, I have it. I have it.
Okay. For example, this report that is written Jaco Investment CC and Client Loki Investment Pty Ltd.
Yes.
And then the dates.
Yes.
You said you prepared this document.
Yes.
Okay. Does your name appear anywhere on the document?
No, I'm representing Jaco.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And there's no signature on this document?
No, there's no signature.
Oh, okay.
That's how they were done, and the clients, they were happy.
All right. This document, in actual fact, could have been generated at any stage and printed at any time.
That is the state's opinion.
Mm. All right. Mr. Shuudifonya, you've heard the evidence in the state's possession. What has been put to you with regard to the state's case? You've seen the forensic report, and there are monies which came from the quotas, went through your entities, and they ended up in Mr. James Hatuikulipi's business entities or Mr. Nghipunya's business, and these monies were generated from quotas which they were dealing with.
That's not correct.
Are you saying this is just a coincidence?
That's not correct, my lord.
What is not correct?
Unless, my lord, maybe I'm being prosecuted because I know Nghipunya and I know Mr. James Hatuikulipi. And I think the state it's a crime because I've known these people.
I want your testimony, Mr. Shuudifonya. I don't want your opinions and your arguments.
Okay. So there is no any money linked to quota which came to my company. As I have explained, low-key, I provided services, we signed an agreement, and are produced, clients are happy. And my lord, I don't know, I'm now failing to understand the position of the state. Is the state, that's the state representing low-key in this case, because the Njako Investment CC and low-key, they have an agreement. They signed the agreement. Services were rendered. Payment was made. And all of a sudden, the state is saying, no, that money must be related to quota. And I think Article 21, my lord, it talks about right to trade. I have right to trade with anyone.
Mr. Shuudifonya,
Yes.
I think I've said to you, I want evidence. You have employed, you are paying somebody lots of money for that matter,
Yes.
to speak on your behalf.
All right.
These are legal arguments you are submitting. He must do it. What I want from you is what happened.
Yes. So, Council, funds from Loki, as I have explained, have nothing to do with quotas. Funds, let me just repeat that. Funds from even skeleton cost, the one which you have mentioned yesterday, have nothing to do with quotas. The 2.9 million which came to fund seafood CC. The fund which I got from the 2 million which was paid by CELAX, as per the evidence now, I have no role to play in any quota allocation. That was a refund of my money which I gave to Mr. Hatuikulipi. So even the 10 million which was paid to Fine Seafood Investment Trust, it was the project for Saga Seafood, for us to deliver fish feed for them. And there is no way we were linked to quotas. Njako, Fine Seafood CC.
And you appreciate that you are currently facing very serious charges. Several counts of racketeering, the accounts of conspiring with the co-accused person commit offenses under the provisions of the Anti-Corruption Act. You are facing several counts of fraud, theft, money laundering. You appreciate that these are serious offenses, yeah?
They sound serious, but the evidence which the state have provided to me, they are no longer serious.
Okay.
So the charges are serious, the offenses are serious at one point, and at another point they are no longer serious.
No, my lord, when they were brought to me before the disclosure, I was maybe expecting what did I do? What is that I have done? I don't know anything wrong I have done. So even when the disclosure came, because I knew it all along, there was no wrongdoing in these businesses. So those charges are there, those counts are there, brought by the state, but to me they are not strong.
They are not?
They are not, they didn't make a case so strong because the evidence which the state has doesn't support them.
And the allegations, to show the seriousness of the matter is that you were part of a criminal enterprise which misappropriated over 317 million Namibian dollars.
I was never part to that, my lord.
And you appreciate that if convicted for these offenses, the sentence in all likelihood would be a heavy sentence.
I have no comment on that.
No, okay. And you also appreciate that there's a need for this trial to be seen to the end with all the accused persons being tried before court.
That's correct.
I just want to find out from you. When your warrant of arrest was issued for you, you disappeared for a week. You are laughing, are you?
No, my lord.
You did not disappear.
No, my lord.
Were you at home in Otjozondjupa?
No, my lord.
Where were you?
My testimony said, on that date, I was in Angola.
Doing what?
I was at home in the village.
Resting.
Yes. It was,
Did you take leave?
yes, I had a leave.
It's only unfortunate, Your Lordship. I don't have the statement here. But I want to put it to him. He can. What's the name of this? The statement is disclosed to the parties. I just want to make sure if I made note of the name of the witness.
Maybe I can just help, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
I was on sick leave.
Sick leave?
Yes, on sick leave. From 14 to 19. I was on sick leave.
Okay, so you did not report to work
What do you mean?
in Otjozondjupa?
I was on sick leave.
All right.
I was sick.
All right. And you only informed your supervisor you're on sick leave while you're in the north?
Yes, it's a normal practice. When you are sick from the weekend.
You say it's a normal practice.
Yes.
We in practice get sick.
Sorry, my lord. So, if I got sick on a Sunday,
Yes.
and I'm not able to come to work on Monday, so the first thing I'll do, I'll communicate to my senior
Okay.
that I'm not able to, I won't be able to come to the office. I'm sick.
Okay.
As soon as I come to the office, I'll bring along the doctor's certificate.
Okay. You were sick. You started being sick when?
My lord, it was Saturday the 12th, I think.
While in Otjozondjupa.
No, I was never in Otjozondjupa that day.
Where were you?
I was in the north.
When did you go to the north?
The Friday,
That Friday.
yes,
Okay. And then Saturday you were in the north.
yes.
I think from your evidence you indicated that you called your legal representative.
That's correct, on the 14th,
Is that on the Monday?
Monday, yeah.
Okay. And informed him to inform the authorities not to look for you.
Yes, that I will hand over myself to ACC office
Okay.
on the 21st.
After that would have been a week after.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there any particular reason you did not want them to look for you?
No,
You just didn't want them looking for you.
no, I gave the instruction. It was for them to take it or not to take it. But I have done my best just to inform the authority that I'm not running away. I'm in the north and I'm coming on the 21st.
Oh, okay. But was there any particular reason as to why on that Monday they could not approach you?
Monday.
Yes. When did you inform your legal practitioner? Was it on
On a Monday, yes.
Okay. Is there any reason as to why the authorities could not approach you on that Monday? Angola?
No, they could have approached me.
But I hear you say you told them not to look for you.
Yes, I gave the instruction to the council that
No,
I will
all
avail
I'm
myself.
asking is,
Yeah.
you said they must not look for you.
Yes.
Now you say they had reason to, they could have looked for you.
Yes, because it's not an order, that one.
Oh,
I was just pleading with them not to waste their resources, because I will avail myself at the end of the day. But the instruction which I got from my council is that they said the warrant of arrest was already issued, and wherever they see you, they will arrest you. That is the instruction I got from my council.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Where were you staying there?
Where?
Where you were?
In Angola. I have a house there.
Why didn't you tell us? I thought you only had a house in Otjozondjupa.
No,
Yeah.
the village house.
Oh, you have a village house
Yes.
there. Oh,
Where we are staying with our parents, yes.
oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Your Lordship, there are no further questions.
So there's no re-examination. I don't know whether or not there's any questions from the court.
Yes, there are questions from court. Mr. Shuudifonya,
Yes, Your Lordship.
I just want to get it. Was it your testimony that you finished studies at the University of Namibia in 2009?
No,
Huh?
it was from Polytechnic of Namibia.
Or you didn't go to the University of Namibia?
And then the postgraduate diploma was done with University of Namibia.
Okay, when did you finish your studies?
2009, my lord.
2000.
For the bachelor degree with NAST.
With NAST.
Yes.
And Mr. Nghipunya was also at NAST.
No, Mr. Nghipunya, I remember he was at University of Namibia.
Okay.
That time.
Because what I got from your testimony is that you were at the university together. Because you testified that you met Mr. Nghipunya at university.
No, I said during university time, my lord.
Yes. The impression that I then got
Okay.
is that you were at the same university.
I know, my lord.
Okay. You finished in 2009,
None, yes.
and then what happened between 2010 up to today?
2010, I got an employment.
Just go slow, go slow. (2010).
Yes,
You
after graduation, because we graduated the following year,
yeah.
2010. So I got an employment in August 2010 at an organization called TACMOS.
TAC. TKMOAMS. TACMOS. It's an NGO Okay.
which is running the orphans and vulnerable kids.
Okay.
So they give those supports. So I was an income projects coordinator for that project. So I was running projects which were generating incomes for that organizations.
Okay.
And then in 2011 July, I got an employment at Ministry of Land and Settlement. Now it's Ministry of Land Reform as a development planner. Grade 8.
Okay. From 2000 until when?
Until 2015 June. And then from 2015 June, I became a chief development planner, grade 6, in Otjozondjupa Regional Council.
Chief Developmental Planner.
Yes. And then thereafter,
You moved to Otjozondjupa.
yes, that time.
In June 2015.
That's correct.
Okay.
Then thereafter, I got the promotion from a chief to a deputy director, rural services, in August 2020.
So 2015,
Yes.
you were chief development. You were
Yes.
not deputy director.
No, up to 2020 August. Because I started being a deputy director when 1st of August 2020.
Okay. Now let's go back.
Yes.
2010.
Yes.
Where were you staying?
2010.
Yeah.
That time I was renting in Banaheda.
Okay.
Yes.
2011,
It's the same.
you were renting in Vanaheda.
2011.
11.
Let's go back to 10. Let's go
Yes.
back to 10.
2010, you were renting in Vanaheda.
Yes, I was renting in Banaheda. Then in August, I moved. In August, I moved to Oshakati.
You moved to Oshakati.
Yes, because that organization, TACMOS,
Yeah.
was based in Oshakati.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I stayed in Oshakati until 2011, June, July there. Yeah, June. So then I came back to Vindu. Then I was staying in Komasdal
Okay.
that time.
Komasdal
Yes.
until
Until 2015 before I left.
before you moved to Otjozondjupa.
That's correct.
And in 2015, when you went to Otjozondjupa,
I was in 2015. I was renting for the first 2 months. I mean, for the first 2 years, 15 and 16. I was renting in Orotobeni,
okay.
Ochibarongo.
All right. You have the I think it's the disclosure from the state.
It's closer. Yes.
You have the disclosure from the state.
Yes, from the state, yes.
So between 2010 and 2020,
Yes.
there was no stage where you were unemployed.
From 20, yes, August 2010 onward.
You were never unemployed,
No, I was employed.
all the time.
Yes.
All right. Go to page 199. You have that?
Yes, my lord.
What is on page 199?
It's a know your client account opening questionnaire.
All right. When was that?
It was June 2017.
All right. On employment details, what did you tell Nedbank?
Self-employed.
Were you self-employed then?
Your lordship,
No, I'm asking, were you self-employed?
in relation to fine seafood, CC. Yes.
No. Were you self-employed?
No, my lord.
You, that's 2017, you were not self-employed.
Yes, my lord.
But you told Nedbank that you were self-employed. Right? 2017, Where was Mr. Mike Nghipunya?
2017. It was in Ludret.
Mr. Mike Nghipunya was based in Ludret.
Yes.
Do you know where he was in February 2017?
February
2017.
February 2017. Yes, I remember he was in Windhoek that time.
Where in Windhoek was he?
It must be at his residential address, my lord.
No, don't guess. Just tell me where he was.
He was in Windhoek. I can't tell which place he was. But
Was he on leave or what was he doing in Windhoek?
no, that one I can't tell, my lord.
Where was Mr. Nghipunya in January 2016?
January
2016.
I can't recall. I don't know now, my lord.
But
It's
you can recall February 2017.
yes, 17 because I sent him to the Ministry of Trade that time.
He was in Ludret.
Yes,
You were in Ochuarongo.
yes. But he was in Windhoek that time of 2017.
Right. Let me ask you, what do you understand by the term invoice?
An invoice. It's a document searching for payment without charging VAT.
No. What do you understand by an invoice?
It's a document that seek payment to be made.
Document seeking payment.
To be made
For what?
for a service rendered.
Okay.
Yes.
You provided an invoice to Skeleton Coast.
No, to Mr. Nghipunya.
No. You provided an invoice to Skeleton Coast.
No, my lord.
Okay. Yes, where are those? Mr. Lutibezi, if you can just assist me with the invoices. They're on page.
As it plays the court, let me just get the page number.
Page 114.
Uh, 177. It's
Those
page,
are GITs.
at page 177, Your Lordship.
So on page 177. And the one of Saga Seafood is on what page?
If the court would bear with me, page 209 and 210.
Two.
177?
Yes, I'm there. my lord.
I don't know. I left my specs somewhere, so I'm struggling to see. Yeah, Skeleton Coast Trolling Pty Limited.
Yes, that's correct.
You provided them an invoice.
It was provided by Mr. Nghipunya.
No. Is it not yours? Seafood,
Yes,
fine seafood.
yes, that's an entity where I have interest. Yes,
Who prepared this invoice?
it's me, my lord.
To whom?
To Skeleton Coast,
Okay, telling them what?
the consulting services for 2019.
Fine seafood,
CC.
Fine Seafood CC provided you with a consultancy for 2019.
That's correct, my lord.
Pay us 2.9 million.
That's correct, my lord.
Did you provide that service?
No, it was provided by Wanyemba, my lord.
Yeah, no. I am not asking who
Okay,
provided it.
okay.
I'm just asking you.
All right.
What is an invoice? You were correct. An invoice is a document given to a person to tell them that I rendered service,
Yes.
pay me.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's what you did.
That's correct.
But did you provide the service?
No, my lord.
On page 209 and 2110, do you have that?
Yes, yes.
What is that?
It's a tax invoice from Fine Seafood Investment Trust to Saga Seafood, which you are limited.
Okay. What is the invoice for?
Invoice there is showing the number, invoice number.
Yeah. What is it for?
I can't explain that one now, my lord.
If you read, what does it say?
It says invoice, column 002/19.
Okay, go to, you see there is quantity.
Yes,
And what is the quantity there?
1,
And description?
support for supply for fish feed for aquaculture.
What you are telling Saga is that you supplied fish feed for aquaculture.
Yes,
They must support you for that, for the supply of the fish feed.
that's how it was agreed. my
No.
lord.
Remember I asked you what is an invoice.
Yes,
You said an invoice is a document
Yes.
where you are telling a person that
Yes.
I rendered these services,
Yes.
now pay me for my services.
or I'm going to render the service.
No, is that, do you charge before
Yes.
you render the service?
Sometimes it depends to the arrangement of the
An
client.
invoice also.
Yes,
Okay. You are going to render the service,
yes,
all right? And you are paid in advance.
that's correct, my lord.
In terms of this invoice, in terms of what was it charged?
It was on the Saga Seafood project for supply.
No, I mean in terms of what? Was there an agreement or not?
Yes, the one I have explained, my lord, the verbal agreement that I had with Mr.
It was only a verbal agreement
Yes,
that you will render an invoice
yes.
before you even render the services.
No, my lord. It was like, provide me with the invoices for the company to secure the budget so that this budget is transferred to your entity.
What does it mean to secure the budget?
To secure the budget means Saga have to go source where they are going to find this money. And the money, and maybe they...
Sorry? To secure the budget.
Yes.
I just explain to me what it means to secure the budget.
My lord, for when you are in management and you are
In
running
what management?
project management, for example, when you are running
Don't give me examples.
Okay.
Just tell me, what was your agreement?
Yes, our agreement is that provide me with the tax invoices so that I will secure.
Mr. Shuudifonya,
Yes,
you know, are you saying you can render a tax invoice
yes.
for services not rendered?
That was the agreement. ma'am.
No, I'm asking. Are you telling me that in management, I see Mr. Engelbrecht is nodding his head. He renders services. Do you render services for, or do you render tax invoices for services not provided?
My lordship, that would depend between the parties.
no, I'm
but not
asking-
in my kind of profession.
Yes. So don't shake your head to influence the, please. Do you render services, or do you render tax invoice for services not provided?
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Shuudifonya, I'm not a taxman, but I'm telling you, my experience, I was a professional legal practitioner. And if you have not rendered services here, you don't provide a tax invoice. You provide a pro forma invoice. If you have not rendered the services, the auditors always informed me, you don't do a tax invoice, you do a pro forma invoice.
Noted, my lord.
Now I'm asking, am I correct or am I wrong?
To me, it depends.
Oh, okay.
Whom are you dealing with?
Okay. But do you know that if you render
But I understand the implication.
if you render a tax invoice,
Yes.
you become liable for paying tax on that invoice.
That's correct.
Now, in this case, have you rendered the service? If you have to pay back the money, are you going to claim back the tax?
No. No, my lord.
Okay. So, and you rendered an invoice for the support, for the supply of seafood acquisition,
Fish feed, yes.
fish feed.
Yes.
Did you acquire the fish feed?
Not yet, my lord.
You got payment?
That's correct, my lord.
What did you use the payment for?
It's still invested, my lord.
No, what did you use the payment for?
Investment. I invested the funds
Invested where?
in Jaco's projects.
What do you understand by investing?
Is when investing, the way I understand it is when you are injecting a certain capital into a certain project and you are expecting a return on that.
So where did you invest it?
In the liquefied petroleum gas project,
You did not invest it to supply fish feed for aquaculture.
no, my lord, I'm still waiting.
No, you
Okay.
did not invest it to acquire fish feed for aquaculture. You invest it into the low pressure gas.
Yes, low liquefied petroleum gas, yes.
That's what you used it for.
Yes, that's what I invested for, yes.
So you did not invest it as you told Saga Food that you are going to acquire fresh feed, feed for
Aquaculture.
aquaculture.
No, my lord, but the way you are putting it wrongly, my lord.
How do I put it wrongly?
Because it's like you are saying you promised Saga that you do this and you didn't do it.
No, I didn't say you promised. I said you told Saga,
Yes.
pay me 5.17 million to support my acquisition of feed for aquaculture.
Yes, but it's
Am I correct?
no. Saga Seafood.
No, I am talking of the invoice.
Okay.
The invoice says
Yes.
you told Saga Seafood,
Yes.
pay me 5.17 million
Yes.
to support the supply to acquire fish. What is it? Feed for
Yes.
aquaculture.
For aquaculture. Yes.
Yeah, that's what you told
That's correct.
Saga.
That's correct.
Did you acquire? Did you use the 5.1 million
Not
to
yet.
support you for the acquisition of fish food?
Not yet.
You used the 5.17 million
Yes.
to invest in a gas product.
That's correct.
All right.
But Your Lordship, I think the way you are putting it, you are painting a certain picture.
I'm painting nothing.
Yes.
I don't even have a course, or what do you call it, to paint.
But Your Lordship, allow me to explain it.
No, I've allowed you. But remember, I've allowed you to speak.
Yes.
All that just you must take my questions.
Okay.
I first ask you, what is an invoice?
Yes.
An invoice, and you explain to me, an
Yes.
invoice is a document you render to a person
Yes.
to tell me that I've rendered these services and pay me for that services.
Yes,
that's what
right.
you told me.
Yes.
Now I'm asking you, you rendered an invoice
Yes.
that you need support to acquire
Fish feed.
fish feed.
Yes, that's correct.
So how am I painting a picture?
So now, let me also explain the the narrative around that invoice. Why was it done
No,
like that?
you see, what I'm interested in now
Yeah.
is what the invoice is saying. Is there a letter of explanation?
No.
Yeah, that, you see, I'm asking what an invoice is, what it's saying.
Okay, thanks, my lord.
All right. Did I hear you correct in your testimony? Did I hear you correct? That it was 10.3 million.
Yes, VAT inclusive, my lord.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll come to the VAT. What is the amount of VAT?
675 plus 675 is
1.3 million.
1.3. Yes.
Did I hear your testimony correct? That you invested part of these funds
Yes.
in the venture in Angola,
Yes, that's correct.
and the amount that you invested in Angola is 900,000.
That's correct.
And the amount that you invested in Angola was to buy machinery and equipment,
That's correct.
and it's for 900,000.
Not only for that, my lord.
No, I'm asking, is it for 900,000?
Yes, but the value of the machine is beyond that, my lord.
You invested
Yes.
900,000
Yes.
to buy equipment in the machinery in Angola.
That's correct.
You invested. Okay, the machinery that you bought,
Yes.
how much did you buy it for?
The machineries, the value which when I was given the report by the trust of Wanyamba, by the trustee of Wanyamba, the value now is 9 million, my lord.
Did you hear my question?
Maybe you can repeat it again.
Okay. How much did you use to buy equipment in Angola for the project in Angola?
As Njako.
How much did you use
Yes.
to buy equipment in Angola?
7.4 million, my lord.
7.4, not 900,000.
In total. Your lordship, remember the agreement started in 2017 onward.
You see, I just want to get understanding.
Yes.
And I think Mr. Lutibezi was at pains to ask you this question. And you said until you came and settled at an amount of 900,000.
Yes.
Okay. Now you say you used 7 million Namibia dollars.
Yes, 7.4.
7.4.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me the breakdown of where you got the 7 and who bought the 7.4 million?
Your lordship, the payments, the funds are being transferred to Wanyamba Investment Trust. And it's Wanyamba Investment Trust who sourced the machineries. And
No, just tell me how you remember I said give me the breakdown of the 7.4 million.
your lordship,
What it means is 900,000
yes,
came from
Njako,
Jaco,
and then
the 6.5.
I remember there was a 400, but I don't have figures here now, my lord. There was a 400, there was a 1 million, there were payments at different times.
Yes, you see why I'm asking these questions?
Yeah.
Because let me I'm frank.
Yeah.
Why I'm asking this question. You told the court that the equipment that was in Angola was bought for 900,000. That's what you told the court.
No, my lord. Okay. No, your lordship.
Yeah, no, if I'm wrong, that's why I'm giving you. You see, it's very good that I'll tell you.
Yes.
Because I make the decision at the end of it.
Yes,
and
that's
I
correct.
don't want to make decisions based on false and wrong premises.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. Okay, tell me,
Yes.
break down the 7,400,000 how you financed that 7,400,000.
My lord, to break it, it's difficult now because I don't have my bank statement. But what I can say is, when we signed the agreement, the total investment which was done by Njako to acquire machinery is 7.4 up to now. That 900 which the state was asking is part of 7.4 million.
Okay, yeah, now just tell me where the 7.4 million comes from.
So that one I can't tell you now, my lord, because I don't have my bank statement yet.
It's fair. You have worked, from my calculations, you have worked for about 11 years now.
Yeah, almost.
And around 10 of the 11th years, you were a public servant.
That's correct.
You were doing consultancy.
That's correct.
You were doing studies.
Yes, that's correct.
When were you doing this? Were you on leave? Were you put in special leave? Were you absent from leave from the employer? Because this report, the way I looked at it, it's a full-time job. Am I correct?
No, my lord.
They won't require a full-time job.
No, my lord. Those are desk studies. And during my working time, I made use of students also to assist me in that regard. So those are desk studies which I can make use of any.
So you were not sleeping at all?
No, my lord, you don't sleep in business.
You don't sleep?
Yes. That was an opportunity, that one. That contract was an opportunity.
Sure. Would you be standing here if you don't sleep?
It's how you do it, man.
So you said you used students?
Students and other academics, researchers.
Whom have you contracted?
I can't be specific now, my lord, because I don't want my witnesses to be.
No.
I know how the state used to bulldoze our witnesses.
I'm not interested in jeopardizing your defense.
That's correct, my lord.
Okay. You testified about your agreements with Otwafika Logistics,
Yes.
Close Corporation,
Yes,
and Jaco Investment.
that's correct.
Let me go to the first agreement. Do you have a copy of your agreement?
Yes, the first one, yes.
Okay, don't open it now. I'll ask you to open it. You said the first one you got a loan of how much?
It was 3.8, my lord.
Okay. When did you get that loan?
If you go on page 6, my lord, 3.2.
No, on page 2?
6.
No, I want page 3.
Page 3. Yes, the 3.8.
It's 3.8 million.
Yeah, that was the capital I requested, yes.
Okay. How did you testify? What did you tell the court? How did you have to repay that loan? And when?
So I have to repay it within the period of March 2017 up to August 2018, within that period.
Is that correct?
Yes. If you check on point 2.29, my lord, on page 4.
2 point?
Page 4, 2.2.9. The loan period.
Okay. But I want you to go to page 6.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, okay. No, I am wrong here.
Yeah.
Because this is how
The funds were agreed to come
to you.
to me, yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then I read it wrong.
Yes.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
my-
helping me.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes. All right, those are the only questions I had for you.
Thank you, my lord.
Mr. No, what I think is the best is Mr.
I just have two questions arising from the court's questions. You indicated that you used students and academics for your paper.
Yes.
Are those persons acknowledged anywhere in the papers?
No, my lord.
Okay. And you testified about the 7.4 million that was paid to Angola.
Yes.
How were those funds taken out of Namibia to Angola?
Your lordship, as far as I know, those funds were never taken out of Namibia. We bought machineries here. Some machineries were bought in South Africa. And they were brought here, and then we transport those machineries through Oshikango border, Rubango, then Rwanda, then Kakola.
Okay. How were the machineries bought? Was payment effected in Angola from the accounts of these entities?
No, the payments were bought from the Wanyemba Investment Trust of Namibia. The payments were done from Wanyemba for machineries. That's how the machinery were bought, by Wanyemba. Then they were brought to Namibia because some they were coming from South Africa, and then from here we shipped them to Angola.
No, you didn't ship. You transported.
Yes, we transported them. Yes, thanks, my lord.
There are no further questions, Your Lordship.
As the court pleases. Let me draw your attention to the question at hand, page 199 of the disclosure by the state. 199.
Yes,
The issue at hand, employment details, where you informed the bank that you were self-employed.
that's what.
You got that part?
That's what it appears here, my lord.
Why have you informed the bank that you are self-employed, sir?
No, was he first self-employed? Not why. First established the fact. My question was, were you self-employed?
Let me ask the question differently then. When you opened this bank account, was it in your personal capacity or was it in favor of a CC or a trust?
It was in the favor of the trust.
And you yourself at the time was employed.
That's correct.
But this specific account, was it in favor of the trust or in your personal capacity, sir, on your name?
It was in the favor of this trust.
Okay, so therefore, you informed the bank at the time when you opened on behalf of Fine Seafood that you are self-employed.
That's correct.
Furthermore, 209, 2010 of the disclosure of the state issue then tax invoice.
That's correct.
And you also explain to the court why you have issued a tax invoice. Is that so?
Yes, I did, my lord.
You use a word in order to secure funds.
That's correct, my lord.
What was your understanding of that word at the time?
My understanding was Mr. A. Anese, the managing director, was going to secure funding from their companies with their management so that that fund is being transferred to Fine Seafood Trust. That was my understanding.
Further, you also informed the court you received basically that money before the services have been rendered. Is that so?
That's correct.
Question that follows. In your kind of business operation, is that normal?
That's normal, my lord.
No further questions, my lord.
On what basis is it normal?
Because it depends how the parties agree. If the
Then it
parties,
cannot be normal. It depends on an agreement.
yes,
It's not what is normal.
It depends on the agreement, my lord.
Yes.
My lordship, that is the case for applicant number 5. No further witnesses to call.
Mr. Murora, you also.
No questions to you.
All right. Mr. Shuudifonya, thank you for having come in to testify.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
You are excused. You may step down.
Thank you very much.
Now you are released. You can
Thank you.
now speak.
Okay, thank you very
or
much.
with anybody.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
As the court places, my lordship, I have one more applicant to call. That would be applicant number 6. I would make the application. There's a convenient time for us now to break, although it is 3:30 roughly. Thus, in order for issues that have been covered during the course of the day, when that particular applicant comes into play, just to receive further instructions on that particular score. So my application would be that the matter be postponed until tomorrow morning, and with leave of this honourable court.
How long is his testimony?
I believe that evidence in chief.
No, Mr. Sorry. You are excused. You may sit down. Yeah, you are long excused. Or you enjoy standing there.
I don't want to commit me as far as time is, but I believe.
Sorry. What is that?
It is certified.
Yeah, keep it in the witness box. Let it remain there.
And lots of, as far as the last question.
Just leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Is that yours?
Yes, my lord.
May I?
Yes, you may.
My lord, I would not be in a position to commit myself as the time that, but what I would try my level best and try to cover all issues, and I believe that we will be done, evidence in chief, before lunchtime tomorrow.
Then he can start.
But my lordship, the issue is not about that. My request is that his name has been mentioned, even yesterday.
Who's he?
Applicant number 6, his company's name have come up.
Who's that?
Mapopi,
Mapopi.
yes.
Peter.
Philippus. More particular, the CC.
Okay.
So I just want to get further instructions on that one. And then that is the reason for the postponement that I seek.
Instructions with regard to?
Evidence that have been led today
Today.
through the applicant number 5. So I just want to cover certain issues. But I can do, my lordship, in order not to waste time or to not to use time, we can start off with as far as the personal issues is concerned, and then see how far we can. And then a case law dictate, I can further consult with him until such time that they reach the point of cross-examination.
You see what? From me personally, once you start and once you put a witness in the witness box, for you to consult with him, you need to bring an application. Cross-examination, I don't allow consultation. When he's providing evidence in chief, I will only allow consultation with leave of court. So if you put him in, remember, you then have to ask permission to consult him. If you want to consult him, rather than apply for me to stand down and for you to consult.
My lordship, based on what I already informed the court, application would be the matter being then postponed until tomorrow 10 o'clock in order to give me the opportunity to take further instructions from the applicant.
Mr. Lutibezi, before I make a ruling.
I believe tomorrow we do not have much time. I think tomorrow should be the last day that we have for this week. For the state, it's desirable for the.
What I will definitely not do. I will not allow cross-examination to start if we cannot finish it tomorrow.
Yes.
Then I will not allow cross-examination to start. But if it's for the purposes of leading evidence, and if we can finish the evidence tomorrow, if the evidence can be finished tomorrow and cross-examination starts on the date of adjournment. That I can allow.
Then that is in order, Your Lordship, because I don't think cross-examination be finalized, since I had counsel indicating to the court that they'll finalize the evidence in chief by lunchtime. So if that is the case, it's going to be impossible
To start cross-examination.
Yes, it will not be finalized tomorrow.
All right.
If it's for the evidence in chief, then it's fine. There's no issue with that, Your Lordship.
All right. Then we will stand down until tomorrow morning. At what time, Mr. Engelbrecht?
Then I will use the phrase in the capable sense of the court. 9 o'clock I would be available, but I don't know whether or not my colleagues would be available. The sooner the better, in order for us to see how far.
The state is available, Your Lordship.
Can we then start at 9 o'clock tomorrow? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible for the applicants to come at 9.
Yes.
Yes. We will then start at 9 o'clock.
As the court pleases.
Yes.
As it pleases the court.
Court will rise.